up a seat to the bar and join us for another episode of McAnally's Pubcast, a podcast exploring the fun and fantastical mind of Jim Butcher's The Dresden Files series. Hosts Tansen, Jess, and Maggie bring you another round of literary analysis on this immense, immersive, and colorful environment inhabited by Harry Dresden, the world's only licensed private investigator and professional wizard. Join an active and engaged community of new and die-hard dedicated fans focused on the fabulous themes, theories, characters, context, lore, and more. This is McAnally's Dresden Files Pubcast, brought to you by Free Flow Rambling. Conjure by it at your own risk. Welcome to the McAnally's Pubcast, brought to you by Free Flow Rambling. This is episode 10.21, Foxy Lady, where we are covering the novel Death Masks. My name is Tansen, and I am joined by Maggie.
Hello, hello.
And Jess.
Mario.
Okay.
Thank you to our Patreon subscribers for your generous support. It's people like you who help us to do what we do. If you're not yet a Patreon subscriber, sign up today and get a fuck ton of bonus content, kick-ass merch, behind-the-scenes outtakes, and more. Sign up today at www.patreon.com/freeflowrambling.
Chapter 23. Harry manages to fight off another goon, and Susan arrives just in time to help him out of Undertown. They make it to the streets, where Martin picks them up and takes them to Dresden's apartment. Harry tries to escape up a ladder, but he's apprehended by another goon, which he manages to fight off, kind of impressive, considering how, worse off for where he is.
Yeah, how strained and sore and uncooperative his muscles must be. Again, there's that fear and adrenaline working for you. But he gets lucky that it's just one of the regular goons and nothing supernatural, because he really wouldn't have had much hope with that.
It's an extra level of scary when you don't even know how deep into Undertown you are. Just how far into the earth are you right now, and how close to the surface do you need to get?
Well, that's true. At least Shiro was nice. He gave him some directions. He's like, go out second right and up. So at least he's like, at least you've got the ladder. At least there chances are it's not like a 12-mile long ladder or anything like that. But yeah, point being is at least he did not have to
Chicago's had a while to sink.
Well, but nobody's going to build a single ladder that long, so that's all.
People get bored.
Let's see how deep this goes.
So yes, manages to beat off the one bad guy.
Oh, that's
He was already missing a tongue, so one less thing to fight.
He did not beat him off. No, choose some different words.
Off. He manages to fend off his mortal attacker and
jerked off the
goon. See how this afternoon's gonna go.
Yeah, and he just goes brutal. There's a little bit of tussling and wrestling, and then once he gets up there, he just pounds this motherfucker's face into it. So.
He gives no fucks about dirty fighting at this point. He's like, I don't care, I'm getting out.
And he's really proud of himself. He's like, holy shit, I didn't get my ass kicked.
I would be too, I think.
I know, he's just like...
Oh god, I'm alive? What?
I was like, I always go running into these things, and half the time I get my ass handed to me, but...
I didn't get my ass kicked.
What? Good day to get a line, right? Better get a lottery ticket. Lo and behold, hello, Susan. She's just hanging out on this 12-mile long ladder waiting for you.
Yeah, she comes down that same escape ladder, so he is following the right way.
Yeah.
And Harry asks her to take the sword, but it zaps her.
Yeah.
So so he tucks it back into his cummerbund.
Yeah. So what's that magic sword? Well, it
sucks.
It really doesn't, Susan, but I can see from your point of view right now. So right there, we just know that it was just a little bit already. The sword's like, I don't.
Oh, bad energy. Bad juju. No.
Yeah, that it won't even let her just hold it for him, so that's kind of an interesting, so, again, right?
How did Amarachius not, like, how did the vampires, like, manage to get it then if it...
Because Harry fucked it up.
Harry had it unmade.
Harry used it and then lied to Leah and was like, oh, I'm gonna stab you and break my promise, and the sword went, fuck you, and it was no longer a spiritual sword. So Leah picked it up and went, thank you very much. But yeah, that's why Harry was in so much trouble for that, because it was entirely 100% his fault. And Michael was like, what the... Because yeah, Harry's just immortal, so he was allowed to...
What have you done?
He's not definitively good or evil.
Do you know this? I don't know why this reminds me of it. Remember those joy buzzers that, like, you had as a kid? And it was just like a mechanical little, like, wind-up thing.
Joy buzzer. It was more of a vibrate than a zap, but it... Sort of that zap effect, yeah.
So just simulate. This is what I have, like, I imagine her, like, holding it and going...
I remember being very disappointed the first time I actually encountered a joy buzzer in real life. I was like, oh.
And they took fucking lots of pressure, so you just hurt.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I remember that part being the worst part of it. Yeah.
Like, you're just pressing it. It's not the buzzing, it's the jabbing of the metal prong into your... Yeah, I remember, because again, on like comic books and TV shows, it always was like, so like, and then I remember actually, I'm like, and yeah, it's really not very secretive.
Oh, San Francisco store, you have disappointed us again.
That's why the ones that it's like a fake piece of gum or a pencil are better. They blend in just a little bit more, and those ones shock me every time. I'm like, ah.
That's more likely, yeah, the joy buzzers were a sad reality
check. The fart bomb things that they had, like the little glass, like... They came in like little glass tubes and you'd break them.
Oh, thankfully
stink bombs.
No, and did not have any of the actual.
Yeah, they used to sell that shit too.
No, I just remember the little outdoor, whatever those little weed plant pod stink bomb ones were.
I forgot about
the little
those
ball things,
brown
that,
ones.
Smack them against the ground.
Yeah,
and
if
pop.
you peeled them apart, they were all dusty and brown. Yeah, those
I forgot about those.
But no, I never did the store bought ones.
Buy the pop ones. Mm-hmm. They were like tiny little grenades.
Like a little cherry bomb?
Yeah. Just with enough force on the ground. We'd always be in class, and then you would just hear pop, 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 pop. Because people were always chucking them in the middle of math class to get out of the class.
Right? Yeah.
Those were the days. They don't sell that stuff anymore, I'm pretty sure. I haven't seen
Amazon it now.
Well,
can't find it in stores.
Maybe.
It's either new and improved.
There's no more joke shops anymore.
It's not funny anymore because we're just old and lame, and now
you gotta take responsibility for behavior.
I have a phone now. Okay, I don't need that petty shit.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
Now you just film people and blackmail them.
Exactly. I was gonna say now you just traumatize them and post everything online. You don't need to throw a firecracker in math class anymore. Wow, Jessica, you're old enough to reminisce about high school now. Isn't that awesome?
I entered high school a decade ago.
Oh, look at you go, sweetie pie.
No, stop it. Damn it.
Still not a decade since I left, though. Just a decade since I entered.
Yeah. In 2 years, it'll be a decade since
We're sitting right here. Still reminiscing.
Just gonna sit here and pout.
Magic sword. That sucks.
Deidre's screaming. Deidre. Screaming. Growling, howling.
Echoing weirdly.
So while they're climbing, Harry asks how they found him. And Shiro just knew where to go, which is like the divine mission to find him. Like it's kind of the meant to be thing. Like this was fated.
Yeah. Susan's like, we followed Shiro, and he used the sword cane like a dowsing rod, and just
And here's Harry commenting on how long the freaking ladder is. So boom, it is 12 feet in the ground.
12 feet would be fine. Not 12 miles. I said 12 miles.
Point is that clearly Harry also thinks that it's way too long.
I didn't say it
being hung under a
no. Granted.
Tortured for several hours, like
I'm not saying it was like a 5-foot ladder or anything like that. I get it was a bit of a climb. It just wasn't like
I know, but then Susan is like it comes out into a basement. So you're still underground.
Yeah.
My point was just that you didn't be like right down to the. It's not a single ladder.
Journey to the center of the earth.
But not on a single ladder.
Well, it's sort of appropriate because he's with the demons, right?
Well, this is the annoying thing, though, is that Harry said when he went to go to the harbor, he's like, okay, I'm gonna wait for daylight because I know the vampires definitely can't get me, and I'm banking on the fact that the Fallen can't come get me. And obviously
They're
the
not
Fallen
gonna like it as much.
Obviously the Fallen didn't give a fuck about daylight because I showed up on that boat, and they've been there every other moment now since, right? They, like, the gala was probably after sunset, but still.
It didn't start until 9. Remember we had this whole thing about what the fuck is this auction starting at 11 o'clock for?
Point is that we've basically now come to the conclusion that the Fallen are not like the vampires, and they can do whatever the hell they want, whenever the hell they want.
We saw them once in daylight, so yeah. Every other time it's been dark, but that's
Still trying to figure out all those weaknesses.
So.
But yes, it does. It obviously does not affect them the same way.
Underground is purely for seclusion and privacy rather than necessarily hiding from...
I mean, again, it's one of those things where they generally don't like... You know, it's not necessarily that they have a distinct intolerance to it, but... You know, again, like a lot of your friends, they just prefer not to be out in the bright daylight and have all of their flaws exposed and be regarded by other people.
What flaws do you think my friends have?
I don't think they have friends. Your friends think they have.
I don't know. I can identify with that description.
Yeah. It's not what I think of them, it's what they think of themselves. And we all do.
3 of us live in basement suites.
Yeah.
Oh.
But,
yeah.
But yes, anyways, this
and we're all pale as fuck, like...
Because you live in basement suites and don't go out in the sunlight. Yep.
I want to be outside. It just snows all the time.
I'd like to say you're just being facetious, but no. This is Canada.
It's
Snow
been
and
redhead. I gotta stay away from the sun.
It's been 20 and 30 degrees for the last 2 weeks, but it's also been hailing.
Yeah.
Harry does try to ask about the fellowship, but she really kind of Susan declines to answer.
Fast.
She's like...
Yeah.
And I wonder, because, okay, if they came together, why is Susan arriving so late if she followed Shiro?
Okay, she was waiting. Shiro was like, hang back here and wait for Harry. I'm going in. I totally get it. There's that situation.
Well, then why was she coming down the ladder then?
Because Harry got attacked. So she was either kind of already waiting on it or heard him getting attacked and then came down, or...
I wasn't clear on that, I guess.
Yeah, no, I think that was very specific that Shiro was going in by himself. I mean, again, if they showed up with more people, Nicodemus would have been more inclined to, like, attack, like, you're coming, you know, whereas just one guy
does
coming in...
Does she have super hearing and stuff, too?
I'm sure she does a little bit. I don't think they've expressed much about it yet, but...
So, you know, dark hole in the floor echoes, probably.
Yeah, right. She's basically down like a... So, but yeah, so that was... She was watching and keeping... So she was either already nearby at hand or, like I say, specifically... I think I always sort of got the impression that she was kind of, like, waiting down there to help him up. Not that she necessarily was at the top and dropped when he got into trouble, but...
Nervously climbing up and down a ladder like Mario and the Donkey Kong.
Right.
Wait for the barrel to pass and then go.
But yeah, I think that was the plan, is that Shiro went in to get him out. Susan was there to deal purely with the extraction and get him away from there. So, yeah. So, yeah. So... Then he notices, so he gets up and climbs out or whatever, and he goes back to, like, you know, reach for her, watch for her, and he sees kind of this glow.
I think that's such a neat scene.
Well, you're expecting her to be like, oh yeah, we chucked, like, a glow stick in here or something, you know what I mean? And he's like, what's that? She's like, eyes.
Yeah.
Move.
She drops a freaking stun grenade down the shaft. Like, I love that. It's effective. It slows the demon girl down, like,
it
slows her down.
Well, I was going to say, when you got them, I mean, again, you got, like, the see in the dark eyes and things like that. So we know that the actual, like, the pepper spray, the physical didn't. But I'm like, I can also see a lot of the light and stuff.
Yeah, loud bang.
You know, that, yeah, fine.
And if she's on the stairs and something comes, you gotta react at least a little bit if something, like, explodes in your face.
Yeah, exactly, right. So
Do you guys ever watch the Robots movie?
What?
The
DreamWorks Robots movie?
I don't think I have watched it since it came out or whatever.
I don't remember if I have.
I just remember the part where he gets his little, like, baby sister and you have to, like, put her together. It's like, they deliver it and you just have to build the baby. But,
How recent is it?
Oh, not.
Oh, no, okay.
15 years, give or take.
Possibly more, yeah.
But it's so good. But point is like, there's, like, the rich, shiny steel chrome robots, and then there's, like, the ugly, falling apart junk robots or whatever like that. So, like, the bad guy in the movie... Well, not the bad... The minor league bad guys are, like, you know, like, just, like, these just scrap machines that are just massive magnets that go around. I was like, all they need to have done is rented one of those things and they would have had Deidre.
Yeah, right. Just one of those big, like, giant
industrial
construction
magnet.
yeah. Almost 20 years, 2005.
Oh.
But yeah, Harry's always talking about like dropping anvils on people. It's like now you need the other Looney Tunes thing. You need the giant magnet to like stick her to the.
Right.
That would have been funny. I wonder if she was like immobilized that way. Can she just instantly like change back to, or would it be like while your demon form is stuck, would that hinder your?
Because like molecules and shit, right?
Yeah, because I'm like.
But supernatural, and we already know physics just doesn't exist for these people.
So,
Well, Harry says it does. It just depends on.
Harry shows up at the banquet, 9 p.m., right? More or less. Okay?
Ish.
Let's say it took another hour and a half, 2 hours of their, like, gallivanting around the party and mingling and then having to sneak around underneath the hotel and fight off these bad guys.
We knew the meet was supposed to be at 11:45.
Okay, so then we're getting there, 11:30 or whatever, okay?
They bumped it up a little bit because Harry showed up.
Blah, blah, blah. So we're at 11:30, okay?
Okay.
Harry knows he got captured for a couple of hours, and Susan then slams open the door on nighttime Chicago. So Harry was potentially got for, like, roughly 24 hours, 20 to 24 hours, too. He just did his, like, hanging routine.
Yeah, well,
Which is like-
we did know that. Yeah.
Yeah, but not 10 hours, not 12
Yes,
hours,
it does,
like a
because
whole day.
That's what he says. He's like, he woke up and then figured someone was going to show up right away to do the and he hung there for hours.
Yeah, I know, but that's still, hours could be 5 hours, not 20.
Do we
Nicodemus
know
showed
how
up-
long he was unconscious for?
No, that's what I'm saying, though,
Right.
is that's why we didn't know exactly what the hours meant. This is the first confirmation that he was there for an entire day.
I don't know. I feel like, yeah, maybe we didn't know specifically. I feel like he did sort of,
Now, Nicodemus showed up for breakfast at, like, 10 o'clock at night.
yeah, because they're demons.
Yeah.
Deirdre had a hard night of, like, sinking boats.
Okay,
already.
but
Yeah,
I
so,
would have
like-
maybe expected that he showed up at 8 a.m. or whatever
Yeah.
like that after Harry had been hanging for, like, 10 or 12 hours, not...
Gonna see how fast you snap back after having a dryer thrown in you. Deirdre's like, I need my beauty sleep, okay? But yes, so whether, yeah.
I just love how well equipped Susan is. Like, a fucking stun grenade. Like, that's,
Well, this is what's funny.
that's awesome!
And I mean, like, it's I appreciate it. It's funny, but I'm also like, why not? Because he's like, you just had that in your pocket. I'm like, well, okay, she's coming to rescue you. Why not? She's badass. She can throw dryers around. Yeah, maybe she carries fucking grenades with her now. Like,
She's had
obviously,
some time to,
but it's not. She's like, I don't. She's like, no, it was Martin's. Martin carries them around in his pocket for just in case. So it's just like,
pilfers things
Makes
from his
much more
pocket.
sense.
I just borrowed it. Yeah, yeah.
You don't need this.
Right? What do you got in your pockets
And meanwhile,
today,
he's
Martin?
like,
Ooh.
he's like patting his jacket down. He's like, fuck, I need this. Fuck.
Critical Role again. One of the characters gave another guy a fancy magic coin, and he's like, here, throw this down the shaft. We'll see how long it takes
But-
to hit the ground. So he throws it down the shaft, and he's like, and then they were like, all right, that's that. And they go to leave, and the other guy's like, wait, you're not getting the coin back? They're like, no, it's like hundreds of feet into the earth now. And he's like, well, it does magical stuff. I didn't know we weren't going to get it back. Fucking idiot.
Yeah, right. Don't.
Can I borrow the stunner? Forever.
Susan and Harry make it outside into a seedier part of Chicago's streets. And Susan tells Harry that she isn't sure she can handle another altercation with Deirdre because she's almost out of control at this point. But fortunately, Martin pulls up, who is now he's showing similar tattoos.
Yeah.
I was just thinking how that they are so brutal on rentals, like
Oh,
the limo,
right.
the tux. Now this car is just like everything's just.
Oh, shoot, now their 12 fake identities can't rent new cars.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say I would have like
How are they getting credit cards? Are they just stealing people's credit cards? And they're like, this person's like, why can't I ever rent something again?
Hey. There's like
I bought insurance. It's okay.
Everyone at this mysterious fellowship is meant to sign up for a new credit card every week.
there's like how many thousands of like vampires in the world? So all of those dead people that you can just get credit card. You know? So I'm sure I mean because
All these loopholes we're going through are clearly not.
yeah, they don't.
We're dumb.
Not all the vampires and things are like super like high up and right. So it's like
I
every
still
time
just
you
have
kill someone,
images
you've
of
got all
Martin
these,
being like,
stolen
I'd like to
identities."
buy the big package of insurance, please.
Ortega is just like signing up all of these
gonna
children
walk.
for credit cards every month.
Right? Like,
Keep having children so I
All
can
of
keep
the
insurance credit fraud.
Right? That's
The
what
things
it's
we
all
don't
based
talk
on.
about with vampires.
Right? You got it. There's the nitty gritty, right? This is the thing people don't appreciate. Everything's got to have a bureaucracy.
Guys are always
Everything's gotta-
talking about us
everything's
killing
gotta
you
have
in the
an administration. This is why they have to have a government, okay, Jessica?
I think about this things for like for vampire novels, like as
Yeah.
far as you get into like
All the different
more
types of-
contemporary time frames, like the you either have to be super well connected to reinvent your identity, or you're just going to be exposed. Like there's no like because like you've got fingerprint technology now, you've got like face recognition technology. Like the technology is catching up to these.
Yeah, it's no more of a blurry photograph, and you're like, wow, you look exactly like your great grandpa. It's like,
DNA.
wow, your DNA and your fingerprints and your irises all match.
Wow.
You're great, you know.
Do you have an updated birth
There's a
certificate?
100% chance that you're still you. Ooh.
Yeah.
What are these weird markers? Oh. Yeah, like
Yeah, it's all kinds of.
They would just have to go into like the jungles and
Right, this is why we don't
live
talk
off
about
of
it.
insects
It's
and,
like
and,
people in
like
the
parrots.
Says your genes
Live off the
carry.
Can you imagine like a horde of zombie vampiric parrots? Probably want to eat your brains, like a buddy. You know? Hold
What's
still.
up?
Don't run. Oh my god, resistance is futile.
Don't worry, because Twilight solved that problem.
I was gonna say it's like going to the bathroom in like TV and movies and things like you. Right, you just skip over that part. You just don't have to deal with. You know, it's like we
You
just
get one well-connected vampire to be the father, and he
Yeah.
adopts the rest of you. They're
and it's
just all his
good.
children. He'll forge
This is
your
why on
documents.
Netflix everyone's going back to shows in the 80s. Like
Right.
they're like, oh fuck, I don't know how to make this work now. Let's just
Yeah. Like
pastiche now. It's good.
because it's like
I can't think my way out of this shit.
AI is ruining the vampire market.
right. It's like no one can. You don't have that one guy. Like, can you imagine being like that first vampire guy, and you still have to like live in poverty for like that first like 100 years or so, and still you start like banking your wealth and actually making enough off of right? Because we're like modern day vampires are set because they've been collecting it for like 200 years, and I'm like,
All the
imagine
vampires
being
are
like
part of the free man society.
right in the beginning, you know, they're all like.
Even worse though for like the vampire that became a vampire in like the 1900s or whatever like that, and he's just getting into the 21st century and is like, why am I locked out of my bank? It was open 50 years ago. Like,
yeah.
what do you mean?
IRS came and seized
I'm
everything.
sorry. You took out money in like Amsterdam this morning, and then you were like taking out money in like Los Angeles like 5 hours later. So
I just have visions now. We have like a vampire listener that's like, they get it. They really fucking get it.
guys, Mayday, we gotta change.
We sympathize. Come to me. Put all your money in my accounts.
We've got a new tier on Patreon. Buy us a pint means a completely something different now.
That would be the what is it? The
vampire.
after sales. What do you
Aftermarket?
off sales? After sales. What do you do when you like buy boots to take home from the
Oh yeah, it's off sales.
off sales? There you go. We have like an off sales like tier. Let's just take your money in here.
Blood bank donation.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, so this is she's got hers going again. You can see the swirly tattoo things on her hands, and when she's like, I'm almost out, and he's like, out of what? And she's like, control. Ooh, that's not. You don't want the scary half vampire lady out of control. So he's like, oh, okay, well we gotta move, and then yeah, that's when Martin shows up and notices that he's got some as well, but slightly different, but the same idea going on. So now it's some other connector thing. Like it's not just Susan, right?
What are these fancy tattoos
What are
that
these fancy
suddenly show up?
tattoos that and so they're jumping in the car, ring out. All of a sudden, cars start pulling out after them, and Martin's like, what the fuck is up with these jokers? Like, we're gonna get like crazy car chases. We're not in the plan. We're gonna get pulled over by the cops. Like, it's like things you just don't think about when you're supernatural, you know? You're like, dude, I just want to leave. Like, you can't have like 50 people piling out in like cars.
Problem
and,
with
like,
the 21st
It's a
century
problem with the
supernatural
21st
novel.
Not a problem when you had horse and carriage. You know? It's like,
What happens when self-driving cars? See, all the problems. Self-driving cars.
It seemed cool.
No chase.
no
Seemed
chase.
cool when the wizard just had a gun, but now the IRS is closing your accounts and the cops have cars.
You can't even drive your own getaway car because
Yeah.
it's like,
It's like, I'm sorry, you're exceeding the limit. We must make like
Yeah.
like what do you? I'm sorry, you're not buckled. We're not going anywhere. I'm sorry, I'm detecting an injury. We're gonna stop and wait for the ambulance to show up. And you're like,
I have detected a dead body in this car.
authorities have been notified. You're like, just fuck. Demolition Man. What the
Thanks,
hell?
Elon Musk.
Oh man.
Yeah, so there's like 2 cars that are almost immediately following them. Like they just have no luck.
So Martin's like, what the fuck? Like, how many? It's like,
So much for that getaway.
Yeah, he's like, what did you do to piss him off or whatever, right? He's like, what did you do to them? He's like, I turned down the recruiting speech. They didn't take it well.
Really? It's just, Dresden just has to be Dresden, period.
Yeah.
So it's like he doesn't have to do anything because he's always just pissing people off
I opened
anyway.
my mouth. Enough said. All right.
Have you met me?
Right. Yeah. So yeah.
So Martin's whole big plan is that they're gonna drive by Harry's apartment and shove him out. And Susan's like, yeah, that'll kill him. And Martin's like, what the fuck? This guy sucks.
He's not like us, Martin. I'm like, well, why not? Come on.
Good for nothing wizard.
Right. So,
I love this moment too where he's asked, because he does ask, like, is there a safe house? And Dresden's like, no, my place will do. I've got some emergency wards I can set off. They could keep out a mail order record club. I'm pretty sure anybody over the age of 35 fell for at least one of those. I know I did.
I was gonna say, like, again,
my first CDs were from record clubs.
Right, I want to know, like, that younger generation, like, how well they get the joke, or if it's just, like...
I think I got TLC and Pulp Fiction soundtrack.
No.
On CD.
I never did particularly, because I
Although I think I had tapes before that with a different club.
Okay, yeah, no, I was not into, but the ex did the, it wasn't called Clubhouse, was it?
There was a couple of them. Yeah, I think maybe Clubhouse was one of them. Like a B&G or something was like the other one, or I forget. Like there was at least 2.
Or Columbia House, that was the one.
Oh, yeah.
Columbia House. That was what it was. And yes, he signed up and
you got your 5 free, and then you had to just send mail. You had to send the card back to them saying, I don't want this month, or they just charge you.
Yes.
And that was the shtick.
That was the thing. It was that they
but
would
you got your free.
They would
your
just
free
automatically
ones, so
send them to
if
you.
If you were poor and you had the time and remembered, you'd be like, yeah, I'll do this, and then you'd send the card back. But the minute you forgot, it was like you'd pay $25 for a CD that you could have gotten at like Record World for like $15 or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there was all kinds of deals and things, and
you didn't get to choose. They had their CD of the month.
Yeah. So most of the time it was the stuff you didn't want or whatever. But yeah, if you didn't, that whole like reverse marketing thing that they're not allowed to do anymore. They're not allowed to just drop products in your lap and then make you pay for them.
They do that all the time, like those chef's plates and good food. If you don't actually update your thing, they just automatically send you the next month's thing. They still do it.
Oh, but
that model's still in existence.
Okay, well, not entirely. Like, I just know, like, cable companies and things like that, because, again, they give you, like, the preview this free channel, and then if you didn't cancel it, it was automatically on your cable bill.
Oh my god, you still pay for cable?
And people started going, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I didn't, because not everybody knows they were getting this free preview on this channel, and then they just started getting charged, and it became a thing, like, where you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to just start billing people for stuff they haven't asked for.
So Susan's whole plan is she's like, I will wrap myself around Harry and I will throw us from the moving car and it'll be fine because I'm a vampire. And Harry's like, I don't like that plan. And Susan's like, I don't care.
You done it before,
you
fool.
jumped so many times. And he's like, yeah, at a fraction of the speed. And she's like, pussy, baby, bitch, whatever the fuck she calls him.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny because they don't even go there having this conversation, right? She's like, I'll go with him. It's a bad idea. I know it's dangerous. I know there's no choice. But are you sure? And then Harry's like, what are you guys talking about? And Susan's like, don't worry about it. Let's go. Don't worry what we're talking about. You're better off not knowing, Harry.
I do like the use of the word Vulpine smile.
Yes,
and I did
wolfish.
not know that meant foxes. Vulpine is foxes.
Yes, lupine is.
Oh, I thought it was like a Vulcan.
Well, that's why I called her the Foxy Lady, because she has a Vulpine smile.
Yes.
Some of the words I was like, I feel like I should know this. Mm-hmm. I didn't.
Pokemon reference.
And I looked it up and was like, oh, now I know it.
Well, Vulpine is. Yeah. So she's all like, yeah, it's kid stuff. He's like, cartoons are kid stuff. Petting zoos are kid stuff. Jumping out of cars insane. She's like, you did it before. He's like, that was different.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Harry does take her hand, and they take that leap from the car, and he just, like, of course, laughs maniacally the whole way.
Right.
Just have this great fool image of.
Dude's gone off the deep end
And
today.
You're
not the first time he's babbled
crazy,
coherently.
right? Yeah.
Just going with the flow.
Well, yeah,
Everything works around you.
Because then, like, if they're also in the car like that, he's had a chance for that adrenaline to start wearing off, and so you start getting really stupid when that shit happens, and then it's another spike again.
This is like one of those moments when it's like, do I move through the world or does the world move around me, right? And it's like Harry is this fixed point in time where he's just losing his mind and everything is just vroom, 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 vroom. There's demons and there's vampires and there's this and there's cars and there's this and you are just like
Yeah, and the world's
screaming
moving
throughout.
around him really fast. Because like he says, last time he did this, he had Susan take an off-ramp. So you were, logistically, you were slowing down to
Right.
come on
To
or
turn,
off
yeah.
and going around this sort of loop of, right, where, and this time they're not. Like, he's already speeding more because they're being chased and they're coming down the straightaway on his street and they're like, it's like...
Makes me
I
wonder
don't know
how
if
fast like he's breaking all the laws.
But yeah, Harry moving or the world moving, but either way, impact's gonna hurt.
I mean, I know that vampires have a quick reaction time, but cars don't have a quick reaction time. Cars are shit. They're bad at their jobs.
Cars are big.
Like, how are you
heavy
avoiding
metal
everything?
things
Like-
that, yeah. Maybe he upgraded. Maybe
And it was
A rental?
It was a rental, and it which
You
one
can
did it
rent
say? It was something
Lamborghinis.
like
Green van.
Yeah, like
Like,
it's just some.
you are speeding through
It's
downtown.
probably like a Volvo.
Yeah,
Like, put, 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 put.
Oh, yeah, you're right. A dark green rental sedan.
Yeah, like,
Okay, so he didn't get the Lamborghini, but he could have.
point is though, is that it's like how
Yeah, it's just one of the other things the cellophane man does in his spare time. He carries like stun grenades and just like soups up the engine for every rental car in case he can make a quick getaway. You
Just
know?
in
So
case.
it's like just always prepared.
He's
you
like
know?
bored,
Like,
twiddling his thumbs, like, let me just rebuild this engine.
right? Yeah.
was the cellophane man not a mechanic?
Oh,
Wasn't that his thing?
yeah, I think he was.
So there you go.
Cha-ching.
Bada bing, bada boom. All works
Look at
out
you
in the
knowing
end.
your.
I know my
musicals.
musicals, okay?
you
At
do.
least 3 of them.
At least 3 of them.
I got Chicago, Hamilton.
And that other one.
I'm
Sondheim.
sure there's another.
I think the other one's Sondheim. Yeah, company.
Company.
Oh my god, that was quite funny. The musical accompanist things you posted the other day. Oh my god, it was so funny. It's like if you ask the pianist like 5 minutes, like 2 weeks before your show, it's like $100. Like 5 minutes before your show, it's like $1,000, and all these. It was
It's
hilarious.
the accompanist annoyance fee schedule.
Yes, it was brilliant.
And
It was-
it just made me laugh because
Anything by
all of the
Sondheim.
stuff that was like singing any Sondheim 500, I was like, oh shit. And when you start singing, like you have to sing from like the 24 deadly
Italian or
the Italian
whatever,
arias.
yeah.
Like everyone has sung from the 24 Italian arias book. Like
yeah,
everybody.
Yeah, that was very clever. It was very cute. I was
oh,
like,
shit.
I don't know, maybe all of the
and then
specifics,
like
but I get
Mozart arias. Like, fuck.
yeah.
Anyways, yeah, Harry lives. Well, we actually don't know that. He's just laughing.
yeah.
He's just
Cliffhanger.
insanely flying through the air at a high velocity.
Yeah. Him and Susan got all cuddly and flung themselves out of a moving vehicle, and he's just laughing all the way.
This concludes our episode 10.21, Foxy Lady. Thank you for listening. You can find us online at freeflowrambling.com and McAnallys.ca. There we have links to our other podcasts, social media, and other fun tidbits. Please subscribe if you like what you're hearing, and please consider supporting us through Patreon to keep the magic alive and to see more content. We are Free Flow Rambling. Conjure by it at your own risk.